Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Will with Schedulefly, and I'm excited today. I've actually got two guys on the phone out at Ten Crows BBQ in South Lake Tahoe. Jonathon, who is the GM, and Casey Anderson, who is the assistant manager out there. Both were kind enough to take some time to join me today. So, guys, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Yeah, no problem.
So, all right, well, tell me. Let's start out with both of you guys, in whatever order is fine. Just let me know who's talking. But tell me just a brief background of when you got into hospitality initially and why.
I guess I'll go ahead here. This is Jonathon. Well, started out when I was 15 years old and just needed a part-time job. I started working at a pizzeria as a busboy. And, on and off, I would work through the industry, and it really started to dawn on me when I moved out to South Lake Tahoe about 5 years ago, that this is something that I really wanted to pursue and have a career in.
Where did you move from?
I moved here from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
That's a haul, man. Golly. All right.
Yeah.
Were you going out there for skiing, or just a change of scenery, or?
Well, it was a little bit of everything. Yeah. I've got a lot of family that lives in the Bay Area, in Southern California. So I felt like this was a great in-between spot. I used to visit here when I was a kid. There was really no plan to move to South Lake Tahoe. Let's put it that way. I think the idea was, once I finished college, that, hey, you know what? I'm going out west. San Francisco is a little too expensive, and Sacramento just wasn't my cup of tea. So South Lake Tahoe was a great in-between. Gotcha.
Okay, cool. Casey, how about you? How'd you get dialed into hospitality?
Well, I have a very similar story to Jonathon. I started on the East Coast as well. I lived in Delaware, though, and I got my start in a seafood restaurant back in the kitchen. But what I worked on was their grill part out on their deck. So I got to actually see a lot of customers come through, and I saw the interactions that all the servers and bartenders were doing and thought that I would be more suited to do that. So I switched. I got a different job for Dogfish Head Brewery, if anyone knows where that is. And, I got to actually be a server out of their brew pub. And I actually really liked all the interactions. I liked doing all of that type of work. And then I felt the change, so I decided to move and came out this way. Similar to Jonathon, I had family down in the Sacramento area, Bay Area. And then I'm an avid snowboarder, so this seemed like the right place. And then just kind of stumbled across this group that we happen to work for now, and here I am. So it's been quite the journey, but I couldn't see it go any other way right now.
That's awesome, guys. Yeah, it's cool. You guys both moved a long way, and you're in an amazing part of the country. Tell me about the group that y'all work with. I know about it, but our audience does. So tell me a little bit about the group.
Well, it all starts and kind of ends with the ownership group here, Ted Kennedy, which I know you're familiar with. Really outstanding guy. He kind of makes working in a restaurant really easy. He's very caring, and one thing that I always take from him is he always asks if we need anything. But it's more so as like a friendship request, or a friendship ask, as opposed to, do you need anything in life? Do you need a shoulder to lean on? Do you need a couple bucks to go to the store? Whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, but it's more so just a friendship relationship as opposed to him being our employer. So it makes it really good. But going on to the group, though, we have affiliated with us right now, Chuck's. We have California Burger Company, which is burger restaurant right across the street from us. It's kind of funny how we're all kind of in one little area out here. But if you're familiar with South Lake Tahoe, it's not hard to believe that. But anyway, we have that. We just opened up a new deli, Social House Deli, which is awesome. Craft sandwiches and a speakeasy back there. And we also have a brew pub, like Casey kind of used to work at, but it's more focused on selling beer than it is maybe the pub side of things. seafood restaurant at a seasonal like beach hut area on Lakeside Beach, and then we also have a gym that Ted just opened up. So I mean, there's quite a few options.
Don't forget the Poke restaurant too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Poke Rock, which is our seafood
sushi burrito and kind of poke bowls.
Yeah, it's awesome.
In the gym too. I mean, that's some serious diversity y'all have in your group there. That's cool. So, but that must be a fun group to be a part of, because as the group grows and diversifies, I would assume that you guys have opportunities to grow with that.
That's one of the great things about this company. You know, the sky's the limit for all the employees. You know, you can take it as far as you want to go, and they encourage that. So, you know, just because you start as a busser at one restaurant doesn't mean that there might not be another restaurant opening that you can become a manager at one day. So that's the great thing I think most of the, you know, lower end employees here love about it is, you know, sky's the limit. There's endless potential for everything here. And it's just a great place to work. You know, everybody cares from the bottom up. And like John was saying earlier, you know, it's the employer to employee relationship is very good. It's very friend-like. You don't have them coming down on you very hard, but there's still this structure there to know that you got to get what you got to get done.
That's seems like that's, you know, owners that can strike that balance create a lot of loyalty. Hard to do, but, you know, it sounds like Ted does a good job of that, because you guys, I assume, feel like you have the right level of being trusted. You have the right level of autonomy, along with clear expectations, and then the support you need if needed. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, very certainly. I mean, it's, you know, the beautiful thing about being on the admin side of things is we have the opportunity to gain ownership. So I think that's what kind of separates our job from, you know, anybody else's. You know, we're okay with spending a couple extra hours, you know, a day here just to make sure that, you know, things do go over smoothly and look out after the staff. I mean, you know, whatever the case may be, or whatever, I guess, whatever duty calls, we're okay with it, just because we know that, you know, we got a little skin in the game as well. So it makes it that much more, you know, easier, I guess you could say, for us to want to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, tell me about Ten Crows. All right, so you guys are both at Ten Crows. What's you guys are a barbecue joint, right?
Fresh smoked meat every day.
Daily.
All right.
Yes, sir.
What is it now? So I'm from North Carolina, as you can probably tell by the accent. But you know, we have I mean, barbecue's you know, almost like religion here, and you've even got in North Carolina, you have Western North Carolina style of barbecue. You've got Eastern North Carolina, and then they've got their little thing down they do in South Carolina. So what does barbecue mean out there in South Lake Tahoe?
Well, I think it all starts with fresh. You know, that's a big thing we pride ourselves on here, and what separates our smokehouse from anybody else. And, you know, I'm sure y'all are accustomed to it out there, and I'm sure you have some restaurants that do that. However, you know, we have it listed on the menu. When we run out, man.
Yeah,
you know, it's 8-hour smoke cycle for the ribs, 14 to 16 hours for the brisket. You know, you name it. But one cut of meat that we have out here that y'all probably aren't accustomed to having is tri-tip. It's kind of the California cut, kind of
more on the loin side of beef, you know, closer to the sirloin area. But
okay, yeah,
it's not quite like brisket. It's got a little bit more of it's not as fatty. It's got a little bit more of I'd say a tougher. It's not tough, but it's got a little bit more to it. So, I mean, it's great. It doesn't take as long to smoke either, so we can always have that available to us. And it's just, you know, something that we're more accustomed over here. So it's kind of like our side of barbecue is the tri-tip side.
I gotcha. Mouth's watering, man. It always, every time I talk about barbecue, it does. It's just like a Pavlov's dogs or something. But hey, so guys, in that, I mean, you're in a amazing part of the country, and there's a lot of outdoor stuff going on there. Like you said, Casey, you're an avid snowboarder. I bet you got a lot of snowboarders and skiers and stuff like that. And it sounds like you have a good sort of family-oriented atmosphere there. You say everybody's got each other's back and everybody trusts each other. Tell me more about that. How do you find people that are bought into that? How do you instill that in your team? And I mean, do you get to a point where your staff is close enough that they're kind of self-policing on a lot of stuff, particularly with new hires and things like that?
Well, for our hiring process, we actually kind of go through a little bit of some levels to it. We don't just sit down and, bring you on right on the spot. We usually like to have 3 managers, if not 2 managers and a supervisor, kind of go through and have some time talking with the applicants just to make sure, they're a right fit. And then, it just kind of comes down to a lot of, making sure that we can see them getting along with everybody. That's one of the main things that we look for. And then, we have to go back and make sure the right fit for the restaurant is with their abilities. We take our time with our hiring process to make sure that we hire some good people. Some people have gotten through that we haven't quite loved how things worked out, but that's a part of the process,
Yeah, and I think also a big thing that we do is, kind of like what Casey just said is, we take care of our employees as much as Ted takes care of us. So, it trickles down from the top, and, we always extend ourselves, maybe sometimes a little too much, but at the end of the day, if we have a good team, and you as a patron, for example, were to come into the restaurant, you would notice that it exudes through the staff. So, I mean, we try to do what we can to make sure we take care of them. But also another part is, everybody starts out as a support staff member. And then, you kind of weed out the fat that way, but it also gives you kind of a humbling experience if you do have a lot of experience in the restaurant biz. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We want to make sure that everybody is not just, on their own. It's everybody helps everybody. So that's kind of how we run it.
Gotcha. Do y'all have like a, do you have sort of a general management philosophy or management style, that you try to abide by, you kind of think about every day and how you lead your staff?
ROTS. That's our company motto. Ridiculously over the top service is what Ted likes to have us all keep in mind. So, that's one thing that kind of our restaurant philosophy within the group is, making sure the guests are happy and, giving that quality food to back it up. So, we keep that, we make sure that we have all of our servers and staff keep that in mind. That just, we like seeing smiles on faces everywhere.
Okay, say it again. Ridiculously over the top experiences?
Ridiculously over the top service.
Service. Got it. Okay. What's an example? What's a real life example of that? What is that? I mean, I get that, but what's an example where one of you guys or one of your staff did something that was over the top, above and beyond that really
I would say that it would, out here we obviously experience, pretty extreme climates, but more on the winter side. So, if a guest were to walk through the restaurant and say, hey man, I can't figure out how to put these chains on my car, on my tires. That's stuff that we've done before,
Gotcha.
Get at it, run out of our way to make sure the door is open, or, send out gift cards to people that, just left us a positive review for, coming back in here for a second or third time. We just want to make sure that we continue to take care of the people that, help us out. It's a big deal, for us to hear positive reviews, and we want to make sure that we let them know that we really appreciate it.
And it's not just, big things like that. It goes to the little things too, sitting outside, trying to give everybody a blanket that we can, bringing heaters around. If it's sunny out and there's no umbrella, we'll lend our sunglasses to you to use for the time being, just making sure you're comfortable and you're having a good experience.
Yeah, that's genuine hospitality, guys. That's that's you're taking it to the level of how would you treat somebody if they were in your home or they were your guests, if your family was staying with you or your friends or whatever. You would do those things. That's a level of hospitality that's probably above and beyond. I mean, that's why you call it ridiculously over the top, but that's above and beyond what most places offer and what most people experience. So my assumption is that kind of experience, one of those experiences, just wins a customer for life, I would imagine, just about.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the name of the game, man.
Yeah, and you guys clearly take it very seriously. I mean, that's a big thing, isn't it? Like finding people that genuinely believe that understand like this is how important that is versus just going through the motions, I guess. Hard to find those people maybe, but probably once you find them, you know, once again, we talked about this, you want to give them opportunities to grow because you sure don't want to lose them when you have somebody that really has bought into that, do you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, and the way that we, you know, that's kind of how Casey and I evolved through this company was our commitment. And, you know, we've got some superstars that we've been building up here, and we couldn't be more pleased with their progress. But, you know, like I said before, it all starts at the top, you know, and it just exudes down to the staff. And yeah, I mean, we're just genuinely nice people. So
can tell.
It's kind of hard for us to not be, you know, happy or mean or, you know, we live in a beautiful area in this country. And my thing is, you know, if you're in Tahoe and you're upset or you're mad, you know, you need to reevaluate some things, you know, just step outside and take in the fresh air or take a look at the beautiful lake that, you know, we have the opportunity to see every day. So it's gorgeous out here, man. Sunshine all the time.
I know it
Beautiful.
is. I know it is. You guys, but you surely have. I bet you know you've got to have days where you've got guests that are for whatever reason it's a bad day or whatever. But you guys just try to. I mean, how do you handle stuff like that when you've got somebody that's upset or you know had a bad experience or I mean that's just inevitable with restaurants. What do you do to try to make things right?
Well, you mostly just got to start and, you know, take it on the chin first and realize that you got to cater to them, make sure that you can try and bring their experience back to a positive one. And it starts there, you know, finding out exactly what was wrong in the first place, you know, fixing that. And then after that's fixed, we like to then, you know, try and, you know, put that cherry on top and, you know, offer that little bit of extra to, you know, win them over in the end, you know. So say someone had a bad cut of tri-tip or brisket and they didn't like it, you know, obviously we're going to bring it back, make them a new one, bring them a whole fresh meal. You know, if they're still unpleased, maybe then go to, you know, trying to talk to them about, you know, suggestions on what they see we could do better for it. And then ultimately try and, you know, win them over to bring them back with a gift card, say, hey, we screwed up this time. It was a bad day, but try us again another time, and hopefully we can make this a better experience. And usually, more often than not, we usually turn the experience around and make it a good one. But, you know, some people we just can't get through sometimes, and it happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, you know, Casey put it perfectly there. It's a restaurant industry, man. You know, you're not going to make everybody happy, and if you say you are, you're lying. You know,
yeah.
It's especially for us in the barbecue business. It's very subjective. Everybody's got a barbecue and they make their own sauce and they smoke their own meat. So it's our job to make sure that we provide more of an experience for them, you know, and then that's where ridiculously over the top service comes in, man. If we're happy straight from the get go, all the way through your entire dining experience, sit there and I've had customers just kind of curse me out and I'm just like, you know, my response is, what'd you guys do today? You know, it's like, how was everything? You know, is there anything, you know, that we could do to hopefully make it better? But, you know, like Casey said, you know, you do what you can, but for the most part, I'd say we have a 90% turnaround, and yeah. I'm confident in saying that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. You guys are doing great work out there. Hey, listen, well, I know you are busy too, so I appreciate the time a ton. We love serving y'all, and appreciate you both taking the time to do this and just sharing what you shared. I mean, people learn from this. I love ROTS. That's a great takeaway. That's a great acronym. Easy to remember, and what a smart thing, because you, if everybody's thinking that, it's just going to it's almost like a trigger to just go, okay, instead of just mailing it in here or just handling this, how do I handle it like really, really well above and beyond what they would expect? So I love it, man. It's good stuff, guys.
Yeah, certainly. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day, man. We really appreciate it. And obviously Schedule Fly has treated us well for some time. So thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I hope I can get out there sometime. Tesman, I really want to make it out there. I've wanted to ski Tahoe my whole life. I grew up, I'm older than you guys, I'm sure. I'm in my 40s, but I grew up on the movie Hot Dog, which y'all may or may not have ever even heard of, but it was a ski movie from the 80s that took place out there, and the main character was like my hero growing up, so I've always wanted to ski out there. So,
is there a way that we could send you a gift card?
Oh man, no, that's all. I tell you what, guys. Let me. I will. I really will. I'm hoping that this year, if not this year, next, I'm going to be able to make it out there. It is literally like a bucket list item. So,
yeah.
So you'll know when I'm coming, and I'm definitely going to come have some of your barbecue. I've got my own opinions on barbecue, but I know y'all do it right. So,
yeah. Hey man, you know what? As long as it makes you happy, that's all that matters to us.
That's right.
You know, you come in here and you have a good experience. But please let us know if there's anything we could do and to enhance your visit out here.
I appreciate it, guys.
Jeff and the boys over at Burger and Dustin at Deli and whatnot would be happy to help you out. So thanks so much.
Absolutely, man. Y'all have a good one, man. Take care. Have a good rest of your week.
Have a good one.
All right, see y'all. Okay, bye.